All right, guys, this is insane. Trump just launched the Genius Act, and it really is a Genius Act, and it's going to make you rich if you read between the lines. And no one's going to read between the lines. So you're going to get even richer because you have no competition. The reason why no one's going to read between the lines on this Genius Act is because everyone thinks it's just a stupid stablecoin act. I mean, who's going to read thousands of pages and between each of the lines of the thousands of pages of something called a stablecoin act? I mean, how boring is that? But it's not boring at all. It's literally ingenious. I guarantee you, Trump named this thing bigly. And this is how it works. Everybody buys stablecoins. It's kind of like a gift card, except it's electronic. Imagine that. But here's the part that no one realizes. For every stablecoin a company issues, like for instance, Apple, like for instance, Walmart, will issue these stablecoins, and you buy them. For every single one, they already have to have hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars worth of treasuries to back them up. So these things are part and parcel together. They cannot just wait and sit there and say, hey, so Joe just bought $3 worth of Apple stable coins so that he can buy, I don't know, an iTunes music or something. So let's just buy $3 worth of US treasuries. No, US treasuries are sold in like millions and hundreds of millions of dollar stacks. They don't sell $3 worth of treasuries to the... What is a treasury? You don't know this part, and this part. US treasuries have what's called a yield. Basically, that's interest that the government pays you based on how long or based on the kind of treasury you bought. What's a treasury? You don't know anything in this area because this is the domain of countries and major corporations and really, really rich people. What this is, a treasury is basically a loan to the United States government. I thought I bought a treasury. No, what you did was you loaned the United States government money, and they gave you a piece of paper called a treasury. That's all it is. They just give you a piece of paper. Now, remember, it's called a treasury. It sounds like something that's really, it's a treasure, but it's not. You loan them money, and they give you a piece of paper called a treasury. Kind of like the Federal Reserve isn't federal, okay? So what ends up happening is the U.S. government gives you yields. But the more people that buy treasuries, the U.S. government says, well, a lot of people want to loan us money, so I'm not going to give any of you guys a lot of interest. So instead of paying everyone 7%, they end up paying 3%. Instead of paying everyone 3%, they end up paying 1%, and so on. The more people that want treasuries. But if nobody wants treasuries, then they're like, oh shit, no one's loaning us any money. I'd better offer 7%. I'd better offer 8%. 9% interest on a 10-year treasury bond. That's how that works. So the more treasuries that are bought, basically meaning the more people that loan money to the US government, the less they pay out. Now that makes sense, right? But are you starting to see the inverse relationships here? This is actually literally how it works. So what ends up happening mechanically, and how you get to be super, super rich because of it, is corporations will issue stable coins that they have to pre-load up with hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars worth of US treasuries. So because corporations are, why would, let's back up one step. Why would corporations even use stable coins? Like I said, it's like Starbucks gift cards. But instead of being cards on an app that you have to install, it's a pain in the ass, they're going to give you incentives. Hey, if you buy $1,000 worth of Starbucks stable coins, then what we'll do is we'll give you a free mocha malt frappuccino with half calf, half decaf, so on. So you put thousands of dollars worth of your money into Walmart or Starbucks or Apple or whatever it is, and they have all your money. They're literally holding on to your money. What are they going to do with all that money just that you charged on your Visa or MasterCard or Amex? Are they just going to hold it? No. What corporations are going to do, because they're smart, because they belong in this class, What corporations are going to do is say, since we got a lot of this, and since we already had to buy a lot of this, we're going to put all their money here. It's a way of corporations getting your money before they sell you anything. So a lot of corporations are actually going to start issuing stable coins, like PayPal issued stable coins. Walmart, I think, I'm pretty sure already issued a stable coin. And this act, this Genius Act, just clarifies what they have to do to back everything up one by one to one. And cool part, nobody has to offer interest rates. No one's going to offer interest on stable coins at all. So you can hold $1,000 worth of stable coins, and 10 years later, it's still going to be worth $1,000. Actually, no. 10 years later, it's only going to be worth about $8 because of inflation that I already talked about in my other video that covers M2 money supply. Okay, so now that I've explained why corporations are going to issue stable coins, that, by the way, you cannot interchange between corporations. It's not like Tether, where you can go, I'm going to trade Solana for Tether, and then I'm going to trade Tether for Ethereum. You can't do that with corporate stable coins. You cannot do that. You cannot take $100 worth of Walmart stable coins and trade it for $100 worth of Apple stable coins or $100 worth of Starbucks. You can't do that. That's not how it works. That's how every single corporation is going to suck money out of your bank. Actually, not even out of your bank account. They're going to suck money out of your credit card, so you're even more in debt. So now, before you bought anything from Walmart, before you buy anything from Apple, and before you buy anything from Starbucks, you've already paid all three corporations. And guess what they're going to do with the money? I'll tell you again. They're just going to buy more stocks. Why? Because they already know this inverse relationship. The more stable coins you buy, the more US treasuries they have to buy, which means yields go down. If yields go down, what ends up happening is major countries like Japan. You know how much money Japan has in US treasuries? Oh my God. You know who else has the most amount of money in the world, and the most amount of their money in US treasuries? Israel. Most of their money is in US. Actually, that's wrong. Most of their money is in weapons. The second most amount of their money is in US treasuries. And since the United States of America is going to pay them less interest per year, guess where they're going to have to move their money instead? Actually, let's do a different color. This way. These are arrowheads, by the way. This is why it is truly a genius act, and this is where the money is going to go. So if you follow the money, you're going to get rich too. Which coin, or I'm sorry, which stock do I think is going to go up the most? Probably LHX. It's a defense stock that's just been sitting there, and like I said, because it's a defense stock, and because the people that are buying it are the people on the Senate Defense Subcommittee. They're senators on the Congressional Subcommittee for Defense. And it's a defense stock. I don't know, for whatever that's worth. I'm on Twitter, OTC_Bitcoin. Oh, this also explains why the stock market hasn't dumped in spite of the fact that there's a three-front war going on right now between Iran and Israel, Russia and the Ukraine, and maybe even China and Taiwan. But stocks haven't dumped because the people that know are doing this. Get rich, guys. OTC_Bitcoin on Twitter.